Good morning, good morning. Look at me. I say I'm going to be on at top of the hour. I'm actually early. My glasses are so smudgy, unless I'm losing my eyesight. And I realized I don't have those little like clip-on dealies, the ones that make me look like I have black glasses on. You know what? I probably should be putting these ones on anyway. Wow, 3D House of Beef. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Um, I'm a sweaty Betty, but the good news is, this is me. I always like to say, but you know, the good news is that I am a sweaty Betty because I went and did a morning walk. Good morning, Dana Reynolds. Thank you for the good morning and the little sunshine. I did a morning walk because I have it on my habit tracker. You're going to hear a lot about this piece of paper in the next month or so because I am getting back on track. I hit the sack. It's been so long, I'm glad to be back. Back on track. I fell off the habit wagon. And I mean, here's the deal. I will share with you. Thank you, Meggers. Yes, it was good for me on so many levels. I am not still feeling 100%. I have been struggling with the COVID the past week. I'm feeling so much better than I did. And talking about feeling good, Annoying ASMR says, cleared out my whole closet yesterday. Chunked it into categories. Oh, music to my ears. And I notice I say ears, but my hand goes to my heart because, oh, and it was so easy. Yes. You guys, seriously, the way of the world is chunking it down. And if you don't feel like you can chunk it down, it's because you just haven't slowed down your nervous system to realize, oh, wait a minute, all I need to do is go chunk, 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 chunk. Rock on, you. High five, high another five. As I like to say, like a Liz Lemon high five, but then that reminds me that I got to start lifting some weights. But Liz Lemon high five, bingo wings included, okay? So, yay. Let's celebrate our wins. I'm celebrating my win in the fact that I went on a freaking walk this morning. I didn't feel like it when I was getting up. I will be honest. I woke up. I had a bit of a migraine yesterday. Now, this isn't just to set the stage. And so when I woke up, I was like, oh shit, how do I feel? I was like, oh, I want to feel better than this. I didn't feel as bad as yesterday. But I said, you know what? Just give it a shot. Go out. Thank you that I sound so much better. I'm feeling better. Not 100%, but so much better than I was. Now notice, I'm not saying, oh, I feel perfect. I'm saying I feel better. We're not going for perfect. We're going for better. I went for a walk, and it was longer than the walk I took yesterday. It was a little bit more. It doesn't have to be. It could have been the same, and it would have been fine. It could have been less. It was the same. The fact is, I will share what I'm laughing about in a half a sec, but I want to try to remember my thought. The fact is I showed up and did the thing that I knew that was going to make me feel good and better. You know? And the reason I'm laughing is, honestly, you guys, it's just us right here, right? It's just us. Like, who else would be here? I don't know. The thing I'm laughing about is literally being sick this past week and pretty much being in a version of pajamas. I had to get used to putting on a bra again. And after a while, I'm like, what? Oh, God, why? And then I realized because I've gained weight, the gals are bigger, and it's not a particularly comfortable feeling, but I'm getting used to it. So I can smile about it now, but at the time it was terrible. All right, here, let me move this. I'm getting a bit of a sweat thing. Meggers says, when my house feels overwhelming, notice, feels overwhelming, overwhelming, and I want to get it manageable, you can manage this. I take things from every surface. Then when I sit and watch TV, I can go through and have bins for every category. What a cool idea. I love that. What you're doing is the classic, from overwhelm, you're chunking it down. Chunking it down into categories. Chunk categories. Categories. Names of stuff that was on my kitchen table. Right? And then when it is categorized, and it can be whatever categories you decide. What you're going to notice, though, is your human brain wants to make a match, a pattern match. I can see patterns. I can see tartan. I can see polka dots. I can see dead people. I can notice patterns early on about stuff. And sometimes that's fun because this is like, oh, I see, I notice what's happening here. This is a pattern. And if it works for what I want, I can keep it. But if it doesn't, I can change it. Okay? And just notice that the human brain does that. It's trying to batch things, kind of like when you have a process, a factory, a way of doing things. When you want to do things over and over again, you batch the common things. Your brain does this to save its own brain, to save its energy. If everything is unique, then you're always saying, oh my gosh, I have to relearn this. This is different every time. The more you can, for your own good, to get the destination you want, the more you can simplify and routinize the mundane, the easier it will be for you to have room to do the things that really are kind of one-off and organic. Now, working with your brain is what I love to do, because my brain and I are buddies. I used to beat up on my brain, and my brain used to beat up on me. I'd be like, why don't you do the things I tell you to do? And it's like, I don't want to do the things, but you're too old. Like, you're doomed, you know? Finding a way to work with yourself, your brain, your head, what I like to call your head, your heart, your hands. When you're all on the same page, when you all are moving in the same direction, oh my God, it just makes such a difference. So that's why I'm here to share this with you. I am Beth. I am a decluttering life coach. So I always come from a decluttering perspective, but I'm always going from a kind of, I don't want to say holistic, that feels kind of new age, hippy-dippy, like life coachy, frankly. If I told you the stories I had about not even wanting to be a life coach, because of the snarkiness I feel about some of it, but I will say this: it's true. Even though I say it, when you take everybody into account in your car here, the driver, the backseat driver, the co-pilot, when you're all on board and excited to move in the same direction, that's when things. There we go. Oh, hey, interesting. So this is not the Pixies, though people have noticed. Thank you, Strong Silver Soul Sister. This is actually a one-off that a friend of ours made. It might be Quincy Jones. There's like here, I'll just show it to you real quick. That lady, see right there? That is off of some sort of bossa nova compilation from the 60s. And a friend of ours loved the cover, and so he got some one-off tees made. This is one I will share with you, everybody, to kind of bring in larger picture. This is a t-shirt that was in my t-shirt collection of I need to wear each t-shirt this summer before I can repeat. Now I'm in the repeat stage, and I will say this: I was afraid of wearing this t-shirt. I was afraid of putting this t-shirt on. Fear. I was afeared. I was so afraid. And low, I was so afraid. I was afraid of putting on this t-shirt because I have gained weight, and I was afraid that it was going to fit uncomfortably, and it was going to be too tight across the bubs. It was going to be, too short, and so it was showing the rolls of fat. But I tried it on anyway, and I was like, oh, this thing I was afraid of, I didn't even need to be afraid of it. I turned around. I was afraid of this kind of looming, like, specter of, oh my God, if, the what do I want to call it? I almost called it the cloud, the shadow. The big scary shadow of, if that t-shirt doesn't fit you, you know what that means? It means you've gained weight. It means that you're too big. It means that this is bad. You're getting old and the menopause and, blah, 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 all this stuff. And I said, you know what? Let me just find out. Let me calm down my nervous system. Let me get unsweaty so I can actually put it on, and let me put on this t-shirt. And then I was like, oh, it's just a t-shirt. I'm walking you through my process so you know that this is the stuff that goes on, I think, between anybody's ears. But I slow it down. I slow down the process so you can see what happens at these different stages. And notice that fear was holding me back, and fear was making me feel bad. But the thing I was afraid of was just a folded up t-shirt in my bureau drawer. But boy, was it bigger than that. It represented a lot to me, And you're welcome, Design Chicken, saying, oh, we've all been there. Thanks for explaining. Yeah, we have all been there. The stuff in your home, you have something in your home that is making you feel a certain way, and that's why you're kind of not dealing with it. When you realize that we're much more afraid of the shadow is bigger than the thing. Think about it. You know how, like, when you do little puppet shows and you have like a scary face or something, like, not puppet shows, but like shadow thing where you put like I'll be honest with you, I said shadow things, and then shadow dancing from Andy Gibb came through my head, but I digress. Backing up. And you have a tiny little thing, but you put a light behind it, and all of a sudden there's like this looming, scary shadow. The shadow is what you're afraid of. When you turn around and finally stop and turn around and look, it's just a little thing, you know? That one persona may or may not have been stalking TikTok to watch for your live. Well, here's the wonderful thing. For those of you on the Destination Decluttered mailing list, which seriously, I don't know why you all aren't on it. I think it's such a cool place. Maybe you are all on it and I don't know, but I want to extol the virtues. First of all, it is free to get on the mailing list. Second of all, when you get on the mailing list, and I don't email you a lot. I just email you when there's something good to share. And when you are on the list, you know when I'm going to show up for a TikTok live. So I will say, I did tell the people on the mailing list that I was going to do a pop-up TikTok live, because I like to keep if I don't have a flexible schedule, I chafe under restriction, and it does not bring in the best out of me. It makes me want to go like all Johnny Cash on you. I know that I start things at top of the hour, and I know pretty much that I want to do it between 8 a.m. is a little bit too early. Notice, thought process. There's a time that feels easy. 8 is a little bit too early for me and for you guys. 12 feels too late. 10 o'clock, my husband has somebody coming over to play flugelhorn because he's wrapping up this recording thing that he's doing today. So I said, 9 o'clock, because I typically do my TikTok lives at the top of the hour, as we used to say in college radio. So yeah, nothing wrong with it, you know? Oh, hey, this is cool, you guys. I just got a notification, which reminds me that I forgot to shut off my notifications. Your trip from Philly to LAX is ready. I meant to flick it away. I went to the wrong screen. Okay. Yay. Okay, good. So if you want to get on the mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com, scroll to the bottom of the page. There's a little form. It says, put your email address in here. Promise me you're not a robot. Hit the button. You're in. Okay. Oh Lord, I loved Andy Gibbs. So many memories. Yeah. I was a Bee Gees fan like you wouldn't believe. Okay. Rosalind and Kimba is saying, I'm afraid of those t-shirts gifted to me. Don't be afraid of a t-shirt. Don't fear the reaper. Cowbell. Feel good today. How about today? You're probably going to take a shower. Bring in 2 t-shirts with you. Before you even get in the shower, you're going to have to get naked to get into the shower. At least that's how I do it. Before you get into the shower, just put one of those t-shirts on. See how it feels on you. If it doesn't feel good, you can take it off and then you can wash away that bad feeling. But don't, the fear of doing something is what's keeping you stuck with it. Okay? Have fun with it. Now, German Maid is saying, I just watched Greg's hotel bathroom video. I haven't seen that. I'll have to check that out. All right? Yay, people are on the mailing list. Good, good, good. Yay. All right. So, GQ Jack Atlanta is saying, thoughts on how to handle work requests when away, when people aren't used to setting boundaries. Oh, I love this one. I love this one because I am really good. This was something I will share with you from my days in corporate America, my well-paying but soul-crushing days of corporate America, is what I called reverse training. Is, first of all, having boundaries, but also being very kind of calm and comfortable with pushing back and reminding people, thank you, but no. Thank you, but no. This may be a generational thing because I'm Gen X. I will share with you that there was this woman, her name was Carla. She was wonderful. She was younger than me. She was definitely another generation because she was all psyched when they gave her a corporate cell phone so that she could check in on the weekends and when she was away. And I was like, honey, I am Gen X. I am pretty much anti-disestablishmentarianism. Even though I'm working for a corporation, I am still like, screw the man. Like, don't even, okay? And she was excited about that. And I said, don't you realize that then they have you. If you let them treat you like that, they're going to treat you like that. So there are many ways you can do this. But the one thing I would say, Jack, is to happily and calmly and lovingly even just pretend to put an out of office on. You can reply and be like, pretend it's a thing, or just put an out of office on. Get people used to the fact that you do not respond. And you know how you do that is by not responding. By also informing them prior to your kind of punching the clock. See, here's the deal. My first job, it was my first job. I literally had to punch a time clock. This is my little time card. I put this piece of cardboard into this machine. It went ka-chunk, ka-chunk, and it started the time that I was working. At the end of the day, I punched out. Boom. They got that boundary of time, and my time was my time. I am fiercely, fiercely protective of my own time, including myself when I work for myself now. Be fiercely protective of your own boundaries. And you don't need to be fierce to them, but you need to be strong. And you need to be like, hey, just so you know, this is how I roll, you guys. Much like I said on the weekends. Pop up. I will do this on my time. Because if I have to show up in the energy of have to, I'm going to be you're not going to get the best of me. And I mean, like, you're not going to get the best of me. You are not going to get the best version of me. Okay? And it's repetition and consistency. Nope, I don't do that. I remember, this is reminding me of when I worked and managed a team that we worked with another company, and their office was across the parking lot. And this was old timey. It was only like it was 2000 something, because it was like 2005 plus. They would walk over with a folder. They would hand it to me, and it was like things needed to be correct before we could submit it. And I'd be like, oh, hey, this is great except for this. And I'd be like, okay, get that one thing done and then bring it back. I wasn't mean about it. I wasn't a bitch. But I was like, okay, nope, unless it's the way it's supposed to be, I'm just going to lovingly send it back to you. And then that trains people to make sure that those things are done so they don't have to walk back down across the parking lot. It starts with you. And it starts with you truly believing that there's nothing wrong and everything right with you saying yet no to certain things. Again, I'm going to wrap this back into decluttering. No to stuff you don't want coming into your house. Yes to things you want to remove. When you know what you want, when you know you don't want to be handling work requests on the weekend, you don't handle the work requests on the weekend. That's one way of people not getting to you, And you can have a powerful effect on that. I knew I had to get out of my job, and I was there for 11 years. When they started trying to encroach on my time, I have a wonderful story about that. Maybe I'll put it in my book someday. It involves me being in the newspaper. It's me being on tour with my husband, and me also being kind of forced to go on a work trip that could have been done on a like a Zoom call. But I dig. I want to get to other people's things. All right, so good morning. All right, they're going to get the Johnny Cash version. I love it. Alrighty, we've got some good stuff here. It's free labor. Yes, it is free labor. Do not do that. Yeah, and we need to you know what, if they're maybe used to it, because people are like, oh, this is great, it means I've made it. No, they have you by the short hairs, okay? They have you by the short hairs. Yes, time is the only resource. Time, I know I sound like an old person, but I am getting to be an old person. This freaks me out. Because I think Gen X, we are the ageless generation. I can't believe how old millennials are. I see people on TikTok, and I'm like, oh, they're like a total adult. They have like kids and stuff. They are younger than me. But what I will say is this: in the next couple of days, I will turn 58. That means I'm 2 years until I'm 60. What the what? But I know that I have a finite amount of time ahead of me. I have less time ahead of me than I do in my past. So that's why when I have a finite resource, I need to make sure that I am using my time, that I will not get back. We're always moving forward, or time kind of slips into the future, or we just stay there, or whatever. I am fiercely protective of my own time. And I want you to be too. That's why I show up to encourage you to declutter, because I don't want you to waste any more time than you are right now feeling bad about the stuff in your house. The quantity, the quality, where it is, why it is, all that stuff. I want to help you with this now so you can get past that, knock down the stuff that you've accumulated, change your habits so you don't accumulate again, and then let's all go have a great time and chill, okay? So good morning, everybody. Yeah, volunteer for free is not appreciated. Yeah, I mean, just check your vibe. I check my vibe all the time. And I have noticed that when I show up in a vibe of I want to do this, everybody benefits. When I have resentment in me, it doesn't bring out the best in me because I'm resentful. you know? But then also I get mad at myself because I let somebody kind of walk on me, you know? Thank you. And Lisi is saying, you look so young. I am. I'm 58. I'm 60 and loving it. Yeah. Here's the thing, though, I will say. And I'm just sharing this with you guys because who knows what the future holds? I don't. To me, the fact that my 50s have been so fucking awesome is so great because up until then, I have had, like, every decade got better for me. Every decade is getting better for me. Notice how I changed the way I talk about it. But I also know that my decades can get better and better, but my human body is changing. My human body is shifting into other gears that even I need to do more to keep it maintaining because it's declining. It's just the way that our spirit is endless, but our body has a, what do I like to say? Like it has a, like the parts need to be replaced. What's that thing with your car where you have like a, extended warranty? I'm on the extended warranty version. Parts are going to need to be replaced. Things are running down and they're like, well, you know what? It's because you're getting old. So I know people who haven't made it to their 60s. I know people who started getting sick in their 60s and that's how they died. So I am going to be for the next, like, that's why I'm so rabid about being like, dudes, let's get down on it, you know? Yeah, QVC says that 50 is the new everything. You know why? QVC. They're down the street from me. I know people who work there, but I also know clients who have run into trouble clutter-wise because of QVC. So again, you know that like famous Johnny Cash, I see t-shirt, but the picture of him flipping the bird, I think QVC does a disservice because it's a for-profit company. It wants to part you from your money, but I digress. Okay? Yeah, and actually, thank you. You're thinking of a tune-up, everybody. I was thinking of like the extended warranty, like the original warranty expires. Let's say like a 60,000 mile warranty, and then you got to re-up on it. So there we go. We need tune-ups, yeah. All right, so Inessa says, going through my mom's clothes today. Too much clothes clutter. She's in assisted living now. All right, yeah, and notice, we are having different chapters in our lives. Your mom is in a different chapter of her life. I have helped my mother with her clothes, and I heard about those different chapters. I saw the pair of shorts that she had when her waist was this big in 1970 something, and she has them now, even though she's 80 something, kind of with that halcyon dream or a souvenir of remembering when she was skinny, because skinny was wicked important to her. And also kind of in a twisted way, hoping she's going to do it again. Notice that we all have different chapters of our lives. You know, I have talked about these books. These are chapters of my life. Celebrate the moments of your life. They go in this order. 2020 to 22, 2022 to 2024, 2024. Just started this 1 week. What chapter are you on now? What do you want to include in it? What do you want to just let go? That was from last chapter. I don't want that anymore. You know? Notice this, the clock app. I love it. Yes, Annalisa, heard someone say the clock app is the new QVC. Yes. Again, maybe it's because of my Gen X kind of like punk rock roots. I am so hypersensitive to being sold to, that as soon as I feel like somebody's selling something to me, I turn it off. That's why I try to be very above board when I tell people that I'm very clean about it, that I do one-on-one coaching for money. I am a for-profit business. I give away a F ton of stuff for free, but I have clients that pay me so that we hang out together on Zoom and focus just on their problems. I don't feel bad about it because I'm not going to slimily convince you of it. If you want what I have, you know how to get in touch with me. You know, too easy to buy with the remote too. Yeah. And what I want to say with that is I read this thing. I heard that people say that, but they really saw it on TikTok. That there are companies out there who have a different experience. I mean, I used to work in the digital world, so I know that your mobile website is totally independent from your desktop version. That they make them different because they want to make it easier for you to just hit the feeder button, to not think about it, to not wait and process it, And because if you wait and you stop, you can make a decision and you can decide not to buy things. Get good at everybody. So much of what we're talking about right now is all about noticing what you want and putting up your little stop sign, your little traffic cop hand. Tweet, stop, hammer time. And saying, wait a minute, do I really need this? Trust me, I have had things in my TikTok shop, little basket. It was like there was a vacuum, one of those pillows I'm still iffy on, but I want to make sure that I don't feel like I'm being had, that I'm being ripped off, that it's snake oil, all that kind of thing. But you have power when you can stop and consider things. You shift it to a different part of your brain, from the immediate gratification, like, oh, hit the feeder button and get my pellet, to, hey, wait a minute, do I really want to spend my money this way? Yes, I do. Okay, I'm going to feel good about that. So, but to get back to Inessa's talking about your mom's clothes. It may be tough for your mom to adjust to this new chapter. Maybe not. I don't know the details. This is why one-on-one coaching is, you get extra details. What I want to offer to you is just know that everybody there's going to be things that you used to do in the past that you don't do anymore. I don't know if I'll ever go ice skating again. I probably gave away my ice skates, but there's certain things you used to do that you're not going to do anymore. Be okay with that and have the memories, but you don't need to keep the stuff. So you can lovingly then donate those clothes to a place where somebody is still wearing them. Even if you're not going into like an assisted living, going from one job to another, going from one age to another, where your body changes whether you want it to or not, being okay with letting go the clothes that you don't fit into anymore. And not feeling bad about it or bad about yourself because things are changing. Things should change. If not, we would all be sitting around in diapers. Well, maybe in a certain couple of decades, we will be again. All right? Yeah. There we go. Jen says, almost 56 and need to focus on taking care of me. Yeah. And the wonderful thing is, you guys, I want to share, many times society discourages us from taking care of ourselves and encourages us to take care of others. Notice where my hands go. Inside, outside. Fussy, fussy, fussy. When you take care of yourself, you can be in a better position to take care of other people if you choose, but you don't have to take care of other people. I'm the oldest of an oldest of an oldest. Boy, was I done with taking care of people by the time I was like 13. Yeah. Okay, here's the thing. Judy says, Mom lives with me. I do her laundry, same thing each week, but won't part with a closet full. Oh my God, my mother's the same. I don't live with her, but notice that you can think one thing up here. You can know up here you'll never wear it again, but letting go of it makes it official. Means you're never going to put on that blazer and skirt and go teach a class. Means that you're never going to go out to, it can feel like you're never going to go out to a fancy dinner. It can feel like your time is changing and you're getting closer to the end. So have some love with your mom if she's struggling with her stuff. I have learned to embrace the struggle with my mother, and it's improved our relationship, at least on my end. So, and I needed to just start decluttering now. Now in my 10th year with late stage cancer. Oh, 80s girl forever. Oh, honey bunch. Oh, yeah. Deal with your stuff now. PK puts her stuff in the cart and walked away. Yep. Yeah. Christina Glendale. Hey, nice to see you. My heart is my gauge. How does it make me feel? Do I get anxiety in a faster rate? And then it's gone. Like, ooh, do I not want this? No, I don't want that anymore. Yeah. I checking in with how you feel about stuff is really a lot of what coaching is. Really. Seriously, you guys. Is how does this item that I have make me feel? Do I like this feeling? Do I want this feeling? If I want this feeling, maybe I'll keep the item. If I don't want this feeling, maybe I'll let it go. It can be something like a coffee mug. Now, this I'm not using for coffee because this is too small, but I love the design on it. I bought this when I was in Ireland. There's a story behind this. This makes me feel good. Every time I see it, I smile. If I had not decluttered, I could probably give you an example of something from my first marriage that I have very few fond memories of, and I do have fond memories of because I've decluttered the memories from my previous marriage, and pulled out the good ones and all the good stuff I got out of that, friends, some CDs, learning what not to do the next time. But I have also distanced myself from and just let go all the shit. It's not even worth it for me to carry that stuff around. Okay? So I love, Christina, that you're remembering how things make you feel. Because all you really have is your feeler. You know? All you ever have is what's encased in this skin, up here and in here. And up here in your head and here in your heart makes you do stuff with your hands. It makes you throw away things or grab things. It makes you go like this and I can't do anything, or it makes you, register to vote. It makes you put on your yoga pants and sneakers and go for a walk in the morning, or it makes you say, oh, F it, I'm going to stay in my pajama pants and scroll on TikTok. All examples from my own life, Alrighty. I'm backing up here, seeing if I miss. Okay. I love it. Yes, Cat Mama, you are doing so good. You are. Everybody, Cat Mama and I don't even know each other, but she, and I'm assuming she's a she because it says Mama, but that's a judgment call on my end. She has showed up on so many of my TikToks, and every time she's saying, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing this thing. I'm doing this thing. She is going through decades worth of stuff that other people either couldn't or didn't handle. I use her as a model. Show up every day and do a little bit. That will just make fewer things for you to deal with now. I am catching my mother up on stuff like this. I am going through my, not now because it's hot and she only has one air conditioner and, can't do it. But getting a handle on that stuff now makes it easier in the future when you have less energy and you want more time for yourself. Okay, here we go. Okay, Sue says, and this is common, Sue is saying, yeah, well, first of all, I love it, Sue, because you already realized it's a me problem. Excuse me. I save things from family who have passed for my kids to inherit, but they don't want it. That's okay. Yeah, it's a me problem. I saved it from these people to these things. I am the go-between. That's okay. You have the right to, they have the right to say no. The wonderful thing I love about these up-and-coming generations is, and I think this is a good thing, people, and trust me, I'm a person who collects stuff. They do not have the attachment to many physical goods that we do. Not all, I'm being very general here, but many of them don't want the old stuff. It doesn't hold any memory to them. It reminds you of somebody, but like I have a picture in my kitchen, that I got from my grandmother when I was young, because I remembered saying to her, just as a little kid, saying, hey, Grammy, you know what? Every time I see this picture, it reminds me of going to your house and being in, and I was in her house and making orange juice, the little can, what was it, Minute Maid, where you'd sloop out the stuff and you'd stir it around. And my grandmother said, oh, here, why don't you have it? I didn't mean to ask her for it. I just was sharing that kind of connection. Now, every time I look at that picture, it reminds me of my grandmother. Do I use it often? Very rarely. Will my nieces and nephew have any connection to that? No, unless I use it. We do hang on to things for other people. I will say this, for me, my own journey, 99.9% of what is in this house right now, I don't care what happens to it. What I will leave, that I will request that my nieces and nephews hang on to, isn't my stuff, but it is the family legacy, and it's, again, not items. I've gotten really clear on this. The items they are going to be a totes worth, a small kind of totes worth of family photos that are not even mine, basically. They are the family generation photos that I have inherited. I even have some silver, frankly, that holds memories for me, but it may not be for them. I would like them to keep it, but if they get it and they don't want it and they sell it and it gets melted down, I've become cool with that, Mosey is saying, I feel the younger generation is much more focused on experiences, how to work less and have more. Can we learn from them? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Erin, hey, nice to see you. Erin is saying, my mom said, I have so many photo albums for your brother, and I'm afraid he won't want them. Well, notice the fear. The fear of him not wanting them is probably stopping her from asking him if he wants them. Yeah, I wish I had my grandma's weird onion wall hanging or a picture of it. Yeah, there are certain things you kind of wish you had. Here's a really interesting, it's interesting to me. Through my life, I saw two random snapshots, little square ones that I know that I have never seen them since. This was my grandmother's house, was still around, so this was like 85 and earlier. I saw a picture of my aunt, who, it was just a snapshot, and I remember seeing her when she was young and seeing it when I was little, saying, oh my God, she looks so much like me. I wish I had that photo. I don't, but it still lives in my head. Another one is I had a picture of my great aunt, who was also my godmother, and my great uncle, and some random neighbor out in their little tiny, barely front yard. They lived in an apartment in the snow with this little what would she call it? She would call it a firkin, like a little wooden barrel that they were using as a table, and they're sitting out in a snowstorm having cocktails. Now, I loved seeing that photo. I wish I had kept it. I don't think anybody else has, because they're probably just in the family, just threw it away. But I still have that firkin because it reminds me of that. Now, if I didn't have it, I'd still have the picture in my head. You know, you could still have the picture in your head. Yeah, so notice what you keep and why you keep it. Pause for effect. Notice what you have in your home. You have a reason for keeping that stuff. Let me just ask you this, though. I know you have a reason for keeping it. You may not have examined that reason recently. It may be something you decided years ago that you kept, and then never revisited that decision. You are a different person now. It is now August of 2024. Revisit that decision and then say to yourself, this is why I call my coaching Destination Decluttered. Is me keeping this item getting me the life I want? Is this helping me to get closer to the life I want, or is it keeping me stuck in a place I don't want to be? Holding on to this item, what does this item do? Does it light me up or does it weigh me down? When you ask yourself those questions, pause, calm your nervous system down, quiet down enough so you can listen to your story, not the ones from the backseat drivers, your mom, the aunt, the neighbor, whoever said, no, you can't let go of that. Quiet them down. As that wonderful woman on TikTok says, shut the fuck up. Shh, quiet down. You quiet. I'm just going to listen to me, myself, and I. Do. My co-pilot. Because I have another voice in me, not just the backseat driver saying no, but I have a co-pilot saying yes. And it's like, you know what? You could let that go. You're not going to get in trouble. That person you used to work with who gave that thing to you, and you keep on thinking, well, oh gosh, what if she comes to my Christmas party and she sees that I don't have it on display? She's never coming to your Christmas party because you're not having Christmas parties anymore. You can donate that somewhere and let it go. Because you didn't like it to begin with. You were just keeping it to be nice. Slow down and quiet down and listen to yourself. Okay? That's what I say. I love this. All right, what do we have? Yeah, you're right about that generation said, Mom, your memories you keep in your heart and your mind. It's so true. It's so true. What happens when your kids will never know the past generations of experiences or memories we had? Just because you don't have the thing doesn't mean you can't share the story. In Man, Oh Manischewitz, there's so many ways now you could share a story with people. I'm going to give you a few examples. If I wanted to share the story of, let's just say, not even this mug. Pretend this mug was something for my grandmother, okay? I could say, this is me being kind of goofy. I could say to my nieces and nephew, if I could ever get them in the same state or in the same room, gather round, chillin', I'm going to tell you a story, okay? Once upon a time, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, would have been their great, whatever. I could tell them the story in person, like back in the day. I don't need to do that now. I could sit in front of my phone and I could record a video. And I could say, I'm going to tell you the story of this mug, and then I could send them the video. I could record a video of me talking about it, and then I could put that video file into otter.ai and have that scrape the words in it, and I could write a story about it and then send it to them. I could take a picture of it and then write a caption. Hey, just so you know, this came over on the Mayflower. It probably is not worth a lot of money, on the open market, but it means a lot to the family. Please keep this, tell this story to your generation. Even the picture of it. You don't necessarily need the picture to tell the story of the people, of the experiences. And don't wait for people to ask you questions before you start sharing that info. I wish I had heard more stories of my aunts, my great aunts, and even aunts, because I have an aunt who's dead. I wish I had their stories now. I didn't ask and they didn't tell because we're a quiet family, you know? All right, so Ms. Soul Inspired, what's the proper storage for family photos? I'm making this last fun project after organized. I would say this, there are many ways you can look this up on the internet. AI is great for this, Google is great for this. The one thing I do know is doing it kind of in a non-acidic environment, so things do not kind of decompose, and also in storing things in a climate-controlled method. Those are the two things that come off the top of my head. I know I don't store my stuff like that. Mine are in some plastic totes over here. I'm going to get better at it, I promise. But you can find those answers out in a hot minute. This is the wonderful thing about the time we live. This era of technology is allowing us to connect. You to connect with me to connect with you to connect with info, us to do stuff. Okay? Intentionally Happy says, I cannot, for the life of me, figure out why I hoard every type of clean, empty bag and box. Think about the times when there weren't a lot of good boxes. Think about the time prior to Amazon and all this stuff where, a good box, hey, that was a good box. You have a story in your head that says, oh, that's a good box. Oh, I could reuse that. You know what? Ooh, that bag, I could reuse that. I could use that for something. You have a story in your head. Intentionally Happy. When you look at the next time you go down to your box collection, I say go down to your box collection because I have a collection of boxes in the basement. And I say this, ooh, that's a good box in case we want to ship something. I'm going to save this in case we need to ship something. How often do we ship something nowadays? Us? Rarely. And if we do, I used to sell books. I don't do it anymore. I barely ship anything out anymore. I used to when I was selling stuff on eBay and stuff like that. And my husband, if he sells something, he occasionally will sell like a guitar pedal or something. So every 6 months or so, I go down the basement. I'm like, all right, we got to clean these out because we haven't shipped anything. Notice everybody, not just Ms. Soul Inspired. You have a thought in your head. You have words in your head. A thought to me is just words. You have words in your head, a sentence in your head that speaks to you, that says, words in your head are activated by when your eyes look at a thing, and those words make you feel a feeling. Oh, that's a crappy box. Then you feel okay letting it go. Ooh, that's a good box. Ooh, I think I'm going to hang on to it. Notice the voices in your head. Yeah, I have 2 boxes full of shopping bags. Okay, Nina Gibbs. If you like that, cool. Maybe you're psyched it's only 2 boxes. Use the things you have, people. Do not hoard them. Get things back into flow. And also stop it. If you have 2 boxes and it's too much for you, the next time you get a shopping bag, say, no, I don't need the bag. Thank you, but no, I don't need the bag. I did that this weekend when we were traveling. I knew I wouldn't want, it was a really nice, and nowadays, God, it is so easy for places to have that nice presentation of the box and the bag. I didn't need the bag for the candle. I just needed the candle. I said, just wrap it in paper. I have a suitcase I'm going to put it into. Stop bringing the bags into your house and then saying, oh shit, what do I do with it now? Yeah. Annoying ASMR has an option. Before Christmas, I keep boxes and then make a holiday wrap area so everyone can do their own. There we go. Yeah, if you don't like it, you can do something about it, okay? This is what I say. Miracles and Money says, just enjoyed a 4-hour cleaning session and donated 4 full bags to a charity store. Oh, love it. Notice the word, the verb. I enjoyed. I want to make decluttering enjoyable for you if it's not already. Have some joy. Bring some joy into it. Put on some music. Know how good it's going to feel. Isn't this great when you're getting rid of shit you don't need? Oh my God. I don't want that, and I don't want that, and I don't want that. I'm sick of that. I don't want that. It can be really fun. The stuff you're like, no, I'm not so sure. Cool. Put that away. Deal with it later, and then deal with it later. But get in the habit of realizing that decluttering is not the scary thing you say it is. You turn around and you look, it's just a pile of stuff you bought from Target or Walmart, or you got it at a thrift store, or somebody gave it to you, or you inherited it, or you trash picked it, or you got it on eBay. You've got a pile of crap that's got a shadow bigger than what it really is. It's just a bunch of stuff. Now, this bunch of stuff does tell you stories, but when you click into that, when you tune into that on your car radio, you can tell I'm an old person because I'm like fiddling with a little dial versus just hitting a button. Kind of like when I talk on the phone and it looks like this. When you realize that, you're like, oh, I can quiet down and listen to my stories, and then I can make a decision of, should I stay or should I go now? What stays and what goes? You know? Why can't I throw away my huge photo album for first marriage and end it bad? Takes up space in bad memory. Pop-Tart Mama. I got a story, my direct story. I will say this. My mother, I was married. I was married for a very short, mostly unhappy time in the early 90s. Was it the early? Yeah, it was the early 90s. And my parents paid a lot for that first wedding. When we had the big official wedding album, that cost thousands, if not thousands of dollars, a wicked lot of money. So even after I was divorced, my mother kept the book, okay? And I was like, really? Really? You're keeping that? Why are you doing that? Don't you love, whatever. Shh. At a certain point in the past 10 years or so, I took it from her. And I said, hey, I'm going to take this. This was my wedding. I'm going to take this. And you know what I did? This is what I did. You can't throw it away because you have a thought in your head. We spent a wicked lot on that. I don't want to throw away all those pictures. Oh, man, regret, stories. What I did was I chunked it down. I did. I broke it apart. Yep. And what I did was I saved some photos, a handful, a smidge of them, that was like a picture of me and my mother and my grandmother. I have a picture of, I don't even know, people that I still love to this day at my wedding back in the day. I have pictures, but ones with my ex-husband in them, no. Pictures of my cousin Kim and me dancing to the Monkees, saved that one. Chunking it down, breaking it apart. But notice what's keeping you. When you clue into what's keeping you, hanging on to it, then you can let it go. If you want to. It's all up to you. Okay. Karen says, I have fabric that I don't want to get rid of. There are no more sources for fabric. Listen to that declarative sentence. There are no more sources. No, not anywhere. Not in the world. Nope, none. Nope. Now, I say this in a playful, kidding manner because our backseat driver that says no and stop and there's no answer is very dramatic. Our backseat driver is like the little kid pitching a fit on the couch, or fainting on the fainting couch. No, we can't do that. They'll never make this again. I don't think that's the truth. There might be another source for fabric. And if you don't want to get rid of it, that's also okay. Nobody is saying, let me be so clear here. Nobody is saying you have to get rid of anything. I am just offering to you the thought that if you have stuff that's dragging you down, then you are allowed to release it. And think about it. If you're hanging on to a weight and you're drowning, if you let go of that weight, it'll buoyant you up. So you feel less overwhelmed and drowning and stuff. And then you can breathe. Let go of the rocks that are weighing you down until you're floating around on, kind of just floating. And you're not even having to tread water like those water polo people. All right. So, all right, there we go. Barbara Dean is saying, I'm getting rid of many containers, but just ordered a metal mesh shelf for my desk. Ooh, do I have thoughts about containers? Oh, I got it. Seriously, you guys, when my wonderful external life outside of coaching calms down in a way that feels good to me, I'm going to do so much good stuff. Because I know there are certain topics that I could go into deeper that I just can't hit on here, but containers is one of them. And I say that by saying podcast. I'm going to do a podcast about that. Okay. I'm backing up here. I literally have a rock collection. Cool. I collect stuff. Does it still light you up? Or was it the process of collecting it that was really the good thing, is looking for the good stuff. And, ooh, do I like this one and I not like that one? Betty Thompson says, I love listening to your positivity. You know what? I do too, because it makes me feel better. And when I feel better, I do better. You know? I love this. I'm working on the comments backwards, so pardon me if I haven't gotten to yours. But Christina Glendale, I love it. The feeling I felt when the truck drove away was not guilt or regret, but holy shit, I did it. I'm on fire. Yes. How about that feeling? You know? Yes. Miracles and Money is saying, after the 4-hour deep cleaning, I am taking a break this morning. A bit burnt out. As well you should be, because decluttering does take energy. It's like driving a car. Can you imagine driving for 4 straight hours and not having your gas gauge go down? That'd be kind of weird. So yeah, if your human gas gauge is going down, pull over and do something to refill your tank. I love it. Yeah. What's the name of your podcast? I don't have it yet, Miracles and Money, but you know it's going to be called Destination Decluttered. Branding, people, branding. My name is Beth, but I love sharing with you the concept of destination. This was a game changer for me, and it's weird because the photo in my head does not match when it happened. But I will share with you the story of when I was like, wait a minute, I can plan a kick-ass vacation. I can plan a road trip like you wouldn't believe. I can do all these things and have an awesome time. Why can't I do the same thing with my general life? And then I said, little voice in me, my loving, awesome co-pilot was like, do you want an answer? I don't know. Why can't you? Who says you can't? I was like, wait, what? Plan my life like a road trip? How would that even be? Well, I don't know. How do you plan a road trip? Well, I think of someplace exciting I want to go to. Yeah, and I get excited about where I want to go to, and then I'm like, ooh, I want to go to there. And then I say, okay, if I'm here and it's there, where do I want to go? I want to go there, yeah. Okay, how can we get there? I don't know, but let's do it. It sounds like fun. And then when you get that energy of I can do it, you start building your roadmap. Well, I can call this place. Well, I can look at the calendar. I can see what hotels are available. The world opens up when you say I can do it. Okay? Yeah. So, yeah, and make a video when your podcast is out. Oh, I totally will. If anything I'm thinking of, I can embrace the technology because I can also do a video. Listen, this is how it works. This is how you can be in multiple places. I can do a video of just me talking to my, my phone, as it were, right now. Do a podcast, have the audio go to a podcast place, but then also have the video somewhere where the people on my mailing list can access it, or maybe just, whatever. All right. Jen says, I skipped ahead and got a piece of furniture for my destination, but I have miles to go. Bad idea. Is it? Trust me, if I found a piece of furniture that I knew I wanted for my future, I would find a way to keep that with me. I would let go of something else I liked even worse. But do you really like it? I'm going to back up some. We got about 8 minutes here. Let me see if I can, reply to some things. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to back it up. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Please notice this, okay? With the amount of people here, I might skip over your comment. Please do not take it personally. I don't have the ability to watch it. This stuff skips ahead to me sometimes and I need to back it up. I love that you're talking amongst yourselves to create solutions and connections and problems. Community, I believe we call it. Connections. I love connections. Connections help you get stuff done that that people who don't have connections don't get. I know this. Because if you knew some of the cool things that happened to me because of connections that people could not pay money to get, you'd be like, man, connections. All right. So I'm going to skim through because I've only got 7 minutes and I want you to go out and I want you to do something good for yourself decluttering today to prove it to yourself that you can. But then I want you to go do something that is going to light up your life, like Debbie Boone. And do some fun stuff today. It's not all work. And it's not work a bunch and then whatever's left over I have fun. No. Remember up the thread I was talking about boundaries? Put a boundary on some time you're going to do some decluttering today. Whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Set a timer. I'm going to start here and stop here. And then whenever that timer rings, congratulate yourself on doing it. At that point, you have a choice. Do I want to say, I'm stopping and feel good about it? Or am I going to say, hey, this is not bad. I'm going to continue going and feel good about it. I want you to feel good about whatever decision you're making. Okay? And then when you stop the decluttering, congratulate yourself and then go do something fun. Tomorrow's not guaranteed for any of us. Do things today that you would regret if you were on your deathbed that you didn't do. Okay? I like to use death as a motivator. I'm Irish. What can I say? All right? Let me see. You guys. Is this The Price is Right? I can't remember if it's no, because I was gonna say it's Match Game, but Match Game was like bow. I always, when I am doing my thinking music, kind of like Jeopardy, my thinking music is like the 70s version of the Price is Right theme. You know, I'm like ba 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 ba. All right. Yeah, Karen brings up a good point. Mom passed and had great stuff, but estate sale practically was given away. Yeah, you can have things you think are great, nobody else may think so. Timing is everything with what's in vogue and what's not. What's in vogue. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it. What is popular and what is not. That's why so many of us who have vintage furniture, we thrifted stuff because it was out of style. There are trends, there are chapters of life when things are, everything that's in vogue now is going to look so fuddy-duddy and old-fashioned to people in just a few years. Trust me. It's how styles are. But when you can have things in your house that you love no matter what's going on in the outside world, that's power. But notice that the things you're hanging on to, I did a video about this and it went not viral, but it got a bunch of views. If you have something in your house that one of the reasons you're keeping it is because you think it's going to be worth money now or in the future, take the pulse of it right now. See if it's worth anything right now. Because if it's not, notice how you treat things differently when you think they're worth money or not. That's why I charge for coaching. Because changing yourself is hard. Changing yourself is difficult. But when you pay to get help for it, you're more likely to show up when it becomes uncomfortable. That's why you pay for a gym membership. That's why I pay to go to Pilates. That's why I pay to do yoga. Now, in 4 minutes, do I have my own little roller thing here? Am I working out with weights? Yeah, because I don't feel well, so I'm going to do it at my home. But do I get a better workout? Do I show up more and for longer when I have paid somebody else and I'll go for an hour? I can crap out on myself at any time and nobody will notice. Notice that your thoughts about money definitely affect your decisions. Okay? All right, I love this. Sometimes you need to declutter. Dana's saying, my husband recently had a stem cell transplant and the house has to be dust-free and hospital clean. That's a motivator. Bobby Duga is saying, we are preparing for a hurricane. Been through it before, but yeah, trying to find your place, you know? Yep. I was going to donate to one of my sons. I love this. Nina Gibbs. I was going to donate one of my son's childhood toys, and he told me I was cold. You know what you do then? Then you donate it to him. Oh, here you go. Now you can deal with it. Boop. And you say it with a delicious smile on your face. I love it. Miss Soul Inspired says, have fun and dance to decluttering while your favorite songs. Yeah. Yeah. Need to get rid of things before they get wetter storms of disaster. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jenny Timmerman says, last week I cleaned out my spices. Notice all these great ideas, people. I cleaned out my spices and pantry of expired food. Feels great to have a fresh start. I love this, but please, people too. Notice you can decrease the amount of stuff that you have. I love it. That kind of fresh start. Maintaining it is the second piece of the puzzle, is the second step in keeping decluttered. So notice what you do the next time you go to buy something to put in your pantry. Do you need that quantity of them? Do you need that size of them? Do I need all that Bisquick or do I need only this much? You know, sometimes you can only buy things in the size they want, but oh my God, I will be dead before the time I use like the Costco thing of, you know, sage. Notice how you bring things into your home affects your clutter. Okay? Notice these things, people. All right, Andrea, let me help you with this. I got a minute left. I have lots of motivation, but very little physical energy, so I get frustrated with the slow progress. You can only move at the pace of your body. You can only move at the pace of your body and your nervous system, so move at that pace. Your brain wants to do more, but your brain is like a passenger in your physical body. So tell it to quiet the F down and be thankful you're moving forward at all. And I say this with a loving tone, but I'm short on time, so I'm from New England, so I tend to be snappy. Okay? The other thing, too, is you can make a lot of decisions. If you're tired, you can sit down and write a list. You can make a decision by looking at stuff and then write down your decisions without moving your physical body. And then the list you have is really a roadmap. When I feel better, if I get up and just do some of these things, I know I'm going to get closer to my destination decluttered. Okay? Now, I feel really bad about this, but I like to hold firm to my boundaries as well, and I want you to learn how to do this too. I see there are 54 or 55 new messages here, and I can't get to them because it's 10 o'clock, and I keep my TikTok lives to an hour. Do not take it personally, but what I would highly suggest is if you dig what I'm doing, get on my Destination Decluttered email mailing list. DestinationDecluttered.com. Scroll to the bottom of the front page, put in your email address, promise me you're not a robot, you're on the list. I say this because this is going to be my last TikTok live officially until like next Friday. However, because I'm traveling and I do this is me being firm to my boundaries. Now I will say this. If I decide to pop up and do a TikTok live, I might not, but I don't want to overpromise and underprovide. But I will promise you this. The people that know when I'm going on TikTok live again are going to be the people on the mailing list. The people who know when I've got consultation slots open, if you want me to be your one-on-one coach, are going to be the people on the mailing list. The people who are going to show up on Tuesday the 15th at 8 p.m. for a free group Zoom call that's a lot more kind of easy to manage than this are going to be the people on the mailing list. The people that are going to know about when the podcast goes, or when I'm doing a workshop, a drop-in workshop, or a place where we all hang out and we declutter together at the same time, is the people on the mailing list, are the people on the mailing list. So if you like what you've heard, if you enjoyed hanging out with me, let's hang out some more. Get on my mailing list so I can let you know when we can hang out together again, okay? And in the meantime, today is a Saturday. In the park, feeling like the 4th of July. Go get something done, but also have some fun. Have some fun, get it done, and I will see you on the flip side when I come back from my trip, and I'm just going to go check in for my flight right now. All right? You guys are awesome. I will see you later. Bye.